I will tell you guys a story, because I've had a lot of fucked up jobs. One of the jobs that I had when I first moved to LA, I became a teacher. I taught night school for adults, right? Working for LAUSD, right? So it's pretty noble, right? It's cool. So like, I'm gonna be somebody, It's like, you know. But like, I remember I filled out all the paperwork and everything, and I did the test for the state, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor at the time. I got a certificate, says I can teach from Schwarzenegger. I'm like, that's fucking dope. I think he wanted to take the classes, but I don't know. I can teach. No, so check this out. This is a 100% true story, I'm gonna tell you, right? So like, I took all the tests, got the certificate. The last part was I had to go get a physical from a doctor, make sure I'm physically fit to teach. Great. Okay, so I showed up to the doctor, right? And the doctor gives me like a TB shot, and he's like, okay, so you'll have to come back in 3 days. We're gonna read that. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he's like, here's this cup. We just need you to pee in that. I'm like, huh? He's like, oh, for the drug test. I'm like, drug test? I didn't say that. I was like, and I'm like thinking to myself, well, actually, I don't have to go to the bathroom right now. And he's like, sure, no worries. Let's just go take your blood pressure real quick. And she's like, and he's like, something is very off with your blood pressure. You know that, right? I'm like, I don't know, So like, he's like, listen, why don't you just come back in 3 days? We'll look at the TB test, the shot, and then you can take it then. I'm like, sure, fine. So I go out of this place, right? And I'm like, fuck, I came this far, and now I'm like, how am I gonna get clean in like 3 days? What the fuck am I gonna do? So I went to the head shop, right? And I asked the guy, I was like, do you have anything to help clean your system out? And he's like, bro, you don't need that, dude. What you need is fake piss, bro. I'm like, fake piss? He's like, dude, that's what you need, man. Fake piss. I'm like, okay. So he gives me, he sets me up, right? This big bag of fake piss, and he's like, this is your temperature gauge. I'm like, this is fucking high-tech shit. So if that temperature gauge, you gotta heat it. So make sure it's between 95 and 98 degrees, because, if it's cold, they're gonna know it's not from like a living person. It's dead, right? So fucking... Make sure shit is warm, dude. Make sure it's warm, So you gotta take the strap, put it around your fucking waist and everything. Just make sure the temperatures are right, And I'm like, okay, cool. I was scared as hell, so I had to go to the clinic, and I wore my nicest clothes from Ross, Just walking in like, hi, good to see you. Hi, well, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Just everything's fine, but completely fine, normal individual, right? Nothing to worry about here. And then I go and I see the doctor, and he's like, let me look at your arm where we did the TB shot. I'm like, okay. Looks at my arm, right? He's like, it's a little bit more red than we're used to, so we're gonna have to do an x-ray of your lungs. I'm like, cool, what's that mean? He's like, well, it just means you're gonna have to take off your shirt. We're gonna do an x-ray. I'm like, okay. But under my shirt is this fucking apparatus of fake piss. So I'm like, okay, sure. And he's like, well, before we do that, let's just take your blood pressure again real quick. Just like, it's like the drummer from Metallica. Dude, even the doctor's rocking out to it. I'm fucking... Like, I don't know, I'm very concerned about this. And I was like, well, before I take the x-ray, I just have to use the bathroom real quick. I was like, fuck, what do I do? Because it's under here, So I was like, I felt like Donnie Brasco, and he's like, got the recorder in his pants and like at the Asian restaurant. Take off your shoes, Donnie, what's wrong? I don't wanna, right? It's like, I'm like, So I go to the bathroom and I take this like apparatus and I just tried stuffing it into like my underwear in front of my pants. I come walking out with this bulge. With this awful bulge. I swear to God, I come out with this fucking bulge, and I go and I take my shirt off, and they do the x-ray and everything, and then I sit down, and I notice that the cord was a little fucked up. So he's talking to me, he's like, so your heart rate is, and then he looks down, and a little bit of the fake piss is coming out, and he's looking at me, and I'm just like, It's like, well, between this and the heart rate and, I was like, okay, I guess I didn't pass the test. He's like, no, it's LAUSD, you passed. Flying colors, you passed. No, are you kidding me? We're glad you showed up, you know.